Greetings, guys, gals, non-binary pals, and welcome back to another video. Today, my hair is braided, and it is braided very poorly because I have not braided my hair in about 4 years, and I couldn't entirely remember how to do it. I've done the best I could. Anyway, for today's video, I thought it would be a jolly fun time to go have another check-in on the straights, because it's been a few months, I think. And, you know, they're always in need of being checked up on. And so I thought I would take that upon myself and go and do that today. Yeah, everybody buckle up because it's always a fun time. But before we get into it, I would like to take a moment to say thank you to today's patron of the day, Theo. I appreciate you greatly. Thank you so much for all of your support, and I hope that you enjoy this video. If anyone else would like to become a patron, you go to patreon.com/savvycat or click the top link in the description. I appreciate it greatly. All right, let's jump right in. Starting off with these tweets that I actually encountered on Twitter and then was reminded of when I came into the Are the Straights Okay Reddit. So, you know, if that's not a sign to share, I don't know what is. So it's this man who tweeted, "I'm a 100% straight guy who is no longer interested in dating women. Modern women are lazy, selfish, and have no interest in serving their man. What I'm proposing is a new type of relationship. Not a sexual or romantic relationship, instead a committed male-male friendship. Why would I want to spend my free time being dragged around the mall or going on endless shopping trips when I could be going fishing, hunting, and hanging out with my closest buddies? My buddy and I are both single and share a place together. We live in separate rooms like roommates, but still do fun shit together every week. No women are allowed to come over. We play card, drink yungling, and are planning a week-long fishing trip for this summer. Just guys hanging out with dudes, not a woman in sight. I haven't been in a relationship for a woman in over 3 years, and I am the happiest I've ever been." I love men discovering friendship, first and foremost. Like, yeah? Is that... The fact that that's implying that this isn't what male friendships is usually like is so sad to me. Like, this is what friendship looks like. That's what this is. Your friends are meant to be, like, life partners in a sense. Like, this is how me and Kat exist. We live in separate rooms, but we do almost everything together. We share our passions, we share our interests. We do everything together because she's my best friend. And that's what friends do. And also, I am obsessed with the, like, audacity here of being like, I don't want to date a woman because she'll drag me around shopping and I have no interest in her interests. I want to be able to go fishing. And I just love that prioritizing your interests over hers, as though, like, your interests are more valid and acceptable than her own are. You should want to share things with your partner, but, you know, that's fine. And I just find it so interesting how this very much proves that whole debate of how men don't view women as their equals. A lot of these straight men have no interest in women at all. They have no interest in sharing their hobbies or their passions or respecting them or viewing them as equal. It's like, you serve me, and if you don't serve me and you expect me to take an interest in your interests, then I'm not interested in you. The only thing you're good for is looking after me. And I find it so fascinating that you can then go into, like, this, like, bonded friendship with another man and be totally capable of not having someone serve you, and be totally capable of being equal with someone and viewing them as an equal and sharing your experiences and just enjoying each other's company. It shows that you don't actually need someone to serve you and to, like, lay their life down for you. You don't need someone to be cooking and cleaning for you and just doing everything for you. You're capable of viewing people as your equal. You just refuse to do that for women. Like, if you don't want to date, that's fucking valid. That's totally fine. I respect that. That's chill. If you want to just live your life with, like, a platonic life partner, I respect that. I think that a lot of people should do that, honestly, because romantic relationships are great, but they aren't for everyone. And, like, they're overrated in the sense that I think that platonic soulmates are real and they are something that need to be valued way more than they are. So many people toss their friends aside in order to search for romantic connection, and I don't think that's necessary, and I don't think that's, like, a healthy thing to be doing. However, the intention behind this is malicious because it doesn't come from a place of wanting connection and friendship. It comes from a place of like not respecting women. So, trigger warning for mentions of sexual abuse. Here are some screenshots from a TikTok. Don't let your daughter show her ass cheeks around my 4-year-old son because she's a 13-year-old kid. Wait, let me get my kids ready and then I'm gonna fucking knock you out. If my son rapes your daughter when he's older, it's not my problem. So, a 13-year-old girl was just wearing her togs, minding her freaking business when this woman comes up and says that she's not allowed to have a body because she has 4-year-old sons. Are you aware that no one should be looking at a 13-year-old girl through a sexual lens at all? She's just a child with a body. And 2, your 4-year-old sons don't know nor care at all. They have no idea that there's anything wrong with bodies or nudity even. They don't have any concept of what sex is. They don't have any concept of anything to do with that at all. And then seeing skin on a person is going to have absolutely no impact on them at all. You could be at a nude beach. Everyone at that beach could be completely naked, and your 4-year-old sons are not going to bat an eye because to 4-year-olds, bodies are normal. They're just bodies. They don't see anything wrong with people having bodies. And it's really weird of you to sexualize a 13-year-old girl and also to sexualize your 4-year-old children for no fucking reason at all. And then saying that your son will assault her when she's older and it's not his fault is horrifying, because I am so terrified for the values you are going to instill in that child. If you are teaching your child from the age of like 4 that if women dress immodestly, it means they consent, that's a real fucking problem and really scary, and you should not be a parent. Like, you just should not have kids. You shouldn't even be around kids if you're sexualizing them just for having bodies, let alone be raising your own to be viewing women's bodies as inherently sexual. And to say that about anyone, let alone a 13-year-old, on behalf of your 4-year-olds, is so vile. That's so vile. Holy shit. What the fuck? This is someone going and picking up a bra, and it says, grabbing the biggest bra and telling my girlfriend, I wish you were this size. Why? For what? We love going and telling our girlfriends that in order to be desirable, they should change their bodies more to your own liking. Even as a joke, it's just not very funny because it's not really a joke, is it? And like, it's such a hurtful and harmful thing to say to someone, especially to the person you're meant to love. Just saying that like, I wish your body was different. I wish your body was different. It's so fucked up. And like, this hits close to home for myself personally, of like, when I was fucking 14, my boyfriend at the time, who is my abuser that I have talked about many times, who was only a year older than me, but he asked me if I would get a boob job for him because I am quite like flat-chested. I do not have much boob going on. And especially at 14, when you are still like in the middle of developing, it's an even more absurd thing to ask of someone. But immediately the insecurity that unlocked in my brain when I was already in the middle of massive body dysmorphia and in therapy twice a week for an eating disorder, being told like, I think you should change your body for me. I think your boobs need to be bigger and then I would love you more. Fucks you up real bad, actually. It really does. The amount of time I then dedicated to figuring out how to increase my breast size, how to speed that process up, how to do that so I would be more desirable and more lovable is so fucked up. It took me a really long time to get past that and to accept and embrace my body for what it is. And despite how old or how young you are, saying that to someone and hearing that from especially your partner, it fucking hurts. Even if they laugh it off Like, it fucking hurts. It's not an okay thing to say or ask of anyone, and fuck you, basically. Basically. This is a grocery shop that just has a pride flag in the window that says, everyone is welcome. And someone tweeted, can't I just go to the grocery in peace? Hashtag woke propaganda. Hashtag liberal hypocrisy. Hashtag brainwashing. No one's saying or doing anything. It's literally just a pride flag that says everyone is welcome. How are you being attacked here? How is that brainwashing or propaganda in any way at all? I cannot imagine living a life where I am so offended by people just being like, hey, did you know you're allowed to exist? Hey, welcome, we don't discriminate. And then being mad about it? How are you so sensitive? How do you view everyone is welcome as something that's attacking you? Yeah, everyone is welcome, except for me though, because I hate the gays. That's on you then. Maybe you should put your bigotry aside and just accept people exist and exist in the same space as you and get over it. This is a comic of what the world looks like. Someone putting up a sign of a model saying, hey, how are you? With a woman pushing her baby in a pram. And then there's a couple people on a bench. There's a man on his phone texting next to a woman sitting on the bench, and then a man standing next to them with his leg up on the bench. And then it says what the world looks like to a feminist. The model on the sale sign is fat shaming. The man asking, hey, how are you? Is sexual harassment. The mother is a sellout breeder. The baby is a future rapist. The buildings in the background are phallic symbols of the patriarchy. The man standing and talking to the woman is mansplaining. The woman is anorexic. The man is manspreading and he's harassing women online. So supposedly when we look at that top comic of just people existing, those are all the thoughts that we have. And it will never cease to astound me how many words they put into our mouths. It will never seem to astound me how much they seem to have convinced themselves that we are so against everything and everyone. Like, they make up so many arguments and they just take everything that we say and put it to its most extreme and don't actually consider anything that we're actually saying because they're so defensive about it. It's so absurd to me that just voicing concern and voicing a problem has them being like, oh, so you hate everything. So for example, the putting a model up on the wall and it's saying fat shaming because the model is slim. Taking body positivity as then making every single slim-bodied person being bad and fat shaming people is how did you get this idea into your head? All body types are valid. That's literally the point. Models are allowed to be slim. That is totally valid and okay and important, actually. There are going to be signs of models who are slim. There's not a problem with that. The problem is when those are the only signs that exist. The problem when all models are slim and you aren't allowed to have any other body types other than one specific one. That's the problem. Slim people existing is not fat shaming. That's not what anyone is saying. What you do is fat shaming when fat models exist and you're like, how dare you? That should be a slim person. And we're just leave them alone, let them have a body. Some people are fat and they deserve to be represented. They have to buy clothes too. That's literally all it is. It's just about diversity and they view it as an attack for no goddamn fucking reason. A mother being a sellout breeder is so funny to me how they think that. They're like, all feminists hate children. They all think that they shouldn't become mothers. They all disrespect mothers. It's do you know how many feminists are mothers and want to be mothers? You are aware that feminism is about equality for everyone and giving women support. And that includes mothers. No one hates mothers. No one is calling mothers sellout breeders or judging mothers for having children. Like, maybe there are a few people, just like there's a few people who hold any bad opinion. And if there are women who are forced into having children, it's not her fault. I'm not blaming her. If she's been forced to have a baby that she didn't want, it's not her fault. I'm never ever going to call a mother or any woman ever a sellout breeder. Are you kidding me? What the fuck is wrong with you? Holy shit. Every single one of these things in this sign is a big problem and such a massive reach and jump. I don't feel the need to go into every single one of them. But like, also calling a baby, presumably a boy, a future rapist is so fucking beyond me. Like, what's wrong with you? Even as like a I'm against this thought thing, it's a fucking weird thing to write. This is a dating app bio. He's a man, 31, and his bio says, I'm a father to 3 beautiful, amazing little sex trophies. Why would you call your children that? Why would you call your children that? And how did your brain come up with that? Why did you then write it? And why did you put it on a dating profile? There's 2 ways that this could be read. 1, they're sex trophies as in you think that they are sexually attractive and are sexy, which is a fucking weird thing to say about your kids. And the other is being like they are trophies for you after having successful sex that led to their conception. Like they are a trophy to you. Either way, you're objectifying your children. And if it's the second, which I'm leaning towards it being, viewing them as just like objects that you obtained through sex and they're just like trophies for you having sex is so fucking odd. I will never understand looking at your kids and like connecting them to the conception of them, right? Like if you are looking at your kids and remembering and thinking about sex, past, present, or future, I think that's really fucking weird, actually. And objectifying your kids too? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Oh my god. You're not going to get any matches with that, by the way. So if you want to be more successful on dating apps, I would change that because that's not appealing to anyone. In fact, I think will get you reported many times because what? Me watching him unwrap his empty PS5 box filled with women's selfies he liked all year. Another thing I truly don't understand is like, firstly, why are you monitoring everything your boyfriend likes on Instagram? Like, why are you monitoring that? And secondly, why does it fucking matter? Like, I just don't understand. I don't get it at all. No matter what, right? Whether you're in a relationship or not, you are still going to find other people attractive. That doesn't change when you're in a relationship. You are still going to find other people attractive and beautiful or whatever. The only issue comes in when you act on that. Yeah? The only time it becomes an issue is if they act on that attraction. But there's no problem with like just liking a girl's photo. Like maybe it was a nice photo. It doesn't mean anything. It's just like, oh, that's a nice photo. Like, move on. It's only a problem if then he like slid into her DMs and started flirting with her. Then it's a problem. But if you just liked it, get over yourself. If you're going to have an issue with your partner just acknowledging other people's existence, don't be in a relationship. And I hate this game of like getting people so excited about a gift that they like really want and it being like a prank. Like, I don't think that's funny. I think that's really cruel, actually. I just think that's really cruel, especially as like a gotcha moment. Like, I get it for like gotcha moments when they do something genuinely really terrible, then like, sure, I'll look away. But if it's something so small and insignificant and not even a big deal, you're a bad person. You're being controlling and you're a bad person. And I hope your boyfriend leaves you. POV, you're hanging out with your guy BFF of 8+ years and it's always good vibes because you just have deep convos, laugh and support each other. And the comments are as you expect. Bro getting edged for 8 years. I'm praying for that homie. Bro is patient. Please set that man free, bruh. Bro is super deep in the friend zone. Yeah, those have tens of thousands of likes. Like, bro getting edged for 8 years has 93.8k likes. Like, that is ridiculous. This is so baffling to me. People are allowed friends. Did you know that, like, you can be friends with someone without being attracted to them? This goes back to, like, the first post that we talked about of, like, men not having friends. Like, are you friends with each other? Do you have male friends? Because I hope so. And did you know that that friendship can extend and be with a woman as well? Did you know that you are able to have friendships with people outside of your own gender and it doesn't have to mean anything? Like, you surely aren't attracted to every single woman that you meet, right? Like, you can have friendships and relationships without attraction. It's wild to me that these men seem to only value women that they find attractive. So they see a man who is friends with a woman and they're like, but you surely want to sleep with her because why else does she have any use or purpose in your life? Why are you being nice to her if you don't want to sleep with her? Like, maybe because they just vibe. Maybe they're just good friends. I don't get it at all. Women have value beyond our attraction. Like, really makes you lose your faith in humanity a little, doesn't it? Being boiled down entirely to just your desirability to men. And the fact that it means that they don't even know what a friendship really is. Really fucking sad. It's really fucking sad, actually. I'm happy for her and her friend. If they've got an 8-year strong bond, that's an impressive feat. That's so nice. I love that for them. These men are just sad. Sad. This is a man who is holding his newborn baby against his chest and he is shirtless because skin to skin contact with like a newborn is really soothing and like just a nice connection to have with your baby. And this person tweeted the photo and said, "What the fuck are men doing this for? Sorry, you're not the nurturers. You're not soft and comforting for a baby, especially not him. You can't feed them. It's fucking creepy." Why? Point to what's creepy. Point to where the problem is, because this is just a dad holding his baby to have that moment and that connection with them. There's nothing weird about it. I think that we should be encouraging men to have these nice and intimate and connected moments with their infants. I think that men should be an active part of their baby's life and should be as equally involved as their other parent. Maybe that's just me. The fact that it's viewed as a masculine to just be a father is so wild. I guess it's also this thing of like, so if you had a baby with a man, you don't want him to be like actively involved and like this loving towards your child. Like, think about what you're saying here. If you had a baby, you would want your partner to be more standoffish and less hands-on. Like, that's sad. You should want to share that experience with the person you supposedly love. Doesn't make sense to me. This is a man looking in a mirror while a woman hugs him, but the reflection in the mirror is just showing a snake with the same print as her dress wrapped around him, with the caption, "This year, please, my dear brothers, stay away from women." Yeah, please do, actually. If this is how you view women, yeah, stay away from women, actually. We don't want anything to do with you. If you just view women as snakes who are gonna trap you, keep away. Just keep away. We don't want you. Aren't these men meant to like women? I just don't get it. Husband, I'm a grown man. Stop mothering me. Also, husband, what is my password? Have you seen my keys? Did you make my doctor's appointment? Have you made dinner yet? I don't have any clean underwear. Oh, it's so sad that this is the standard. The fact that this is such a common and popular like joke and statement is so depressing. Women, raise your bars. You're right. Your husband is not your child. You should not have to do everything for him. He should be able to make his own appointments and clean his own fucking underwear. What the heck? You deserve better. Don't settle for men who are capable of being independent and choose not to be. Don't settle. You can do so much better. Here is a good poem from Tumblr to finish this off. Cisgender. This is your term for me. your stereotype, your aggression. When you have been called it all, F-slur, queer, whatever. Well, now I speak. I am not gay. I am not bi. I am not a man or unsure. I am not your words. I am not cisgender. I am a woman. I love a man. But that doesn't matter because my name is Olivia. Yeah? I guess you're right. Like, it doesn't matter. But it doesn't change the fact that you are still a cisgender woman. You don't have to, like, use that label as an identifier. Like, you don't have to go around being like, I am a cis woman. You can just say, I'm a woman, just as trans women can just go around and say they're women. I don't know why he felt the need to write a poem about it. Like, cis is not a slur. It's just an adjective. It's just a describer of what you are. Like, calm down, okay? You don't have to be gay or bi or anything. You can love a man. That's fine, okay? No one's gonna hurt you. It's okay. You are not oppressed here. Take some deep breaths. All right, Olivia, settle down. Just carry on existing. As long as you aren't hurting anyone, no one cares. Okay? You're not special. Anyway, I think I'm going to end this one here. I hope that you did enjoy. A massive thank you to my Sprout and Above patrons whose names are up on the screen right now. And a huge thank you to my Kiwi Cat patrons. Bobby, Josh, Mandy, Ikazel, Jessica, Eldo, Danielle, Raven, Elias, Chris, and Amelia. I love and appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for joining. If anyone else would like to become a patron, you can go to patreon.com/savvycat or click the top link in the description. For as little as £1 a month, you get my videos a day early, and then for £3 and up, you get things such as outtakes, bonus mini podcasts, live streams, vlogs, and more. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, The Queer Kiwi, and Twitter, That Queer Kiwi. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe. Keep fighting. I love you. Mwah. When you close your eyes.